Now, allow me to elucidate on the fiscal trajectory of our core competencies, my good sir. Yeah, guys, please don't talk like that for the love of English. And you know what? At the end of the day, sounding smart in English does not mean having to use complicated words that nobody understands. If you ever listened to the news in English, like the BBC or CNN, you would see that the way that they speak is the way that a 5-year-old could understand. Because the idea is communication, and good communication comes from simplifying things that are actually complicated. So yeah, sounding smart does not mean using complicated words or words that we used 400 years ago. And in this video, I will teach you 10 English phrases that you can use at work that will give you the confidence to be a good communicator so that everybody can understand you. That way, you will sound professional, clear, and confident, without sounding like you've been possessed by Shakespeare. These phrases are going to be your new best friend. They'll help you agree, disagree, interrupt, ask questions, and most importantly, make you sound like you know what you're doing. So let's go. Number 1. Let's circle back to that. This is a classic. This is a corporate way of saying, let's talk about it later because we don't have time to talk about it right now. Meaning, let's talk about that another time. Number 2, just to clarify, and I cannot stress how important this phrase is. When I worked at one of the few law firms where I've worked in London, one of my bosses used to always tell me, Dasha, always ask for clarification if you are in doubt. And this was probably the best piece of advice that I've ever received. Because if you don't understand something, you need to ask for clarification. And it's not because you're not a native English speaker. Everybody has the right to do that. And you will not sound silly or incompetent if you ask for clarification. So let's say that your boss gives you instructions about what to do. You could always say, just to clarify, you would like me to populate this Excel spreadsheet with the age and the address of our clients, for example. Next, this one can be used during meetings when you want to interject and add something. And it's simply saying, I'd like to add something here. Of course, you need to kind of feel the room and understand when it is appropriate to interject. It's very rude to interrupt someone while they are talking, but when you find a pause of, when they are talking, you could always say, I'd like to add something here, and then begin adding what it is that you want to add. It's professional, it's smooth, and most importantly, it's not annoying. Then you can use the phrase, let's take this offline. And this is more used, of course, in a remote setting when you're working remote. Let's say you are in a meeting with a bunch of people on a Zoom call. And as it happens on every freaking meeting that you'll be on, somebody starts to talk about something that is either irrelevant to the call or irrelevant completely to what you're discussing. A very polite way to bring them back and stop them is to say, let's take this offline, meaning you're going to discuss this offline, maybe on Slack, maybe on whatever it is that other people use than Slack, Microsoft Teams, or you could jump on a call with that person to discuss this topic that you were talking about. So it's just a way to stop that person talking about something that is not relevant to the meeting, or it's taking way too long to discuss and it's interrupting the meeting and you want to just talk about it at a different time. And then there's another way to agree with someone without sounding like a parrot, and that's saying, that's a valid point. So instead of always saying, I agree, why yes, you could say, that's a valid point. And then you can add on to it and say, that's a valid point. And I think we could take it further by something. Now, this one has another alternative to it, which I'll talk about later. And this phrase is to build on what Andrew said. And this phrase gives instant teamwork energy because it's showing that first you are actively listening to what the conversation is about and you're contributing to the subject, and you're also in a way supporting the person that's been talking and iterating and adding to what they've said. So for instance, you could say, to build on what Anna said, I'd like to revisit the budget. And another thing that you could say instead is to piggyback on what Anna said. And it's such a funny phrase. It just cracks me up when I hear it. Sometimes I do use it. It sounds very cheesy, but if you're in an environment where you feel confident to use that phrase, go ahead and use it. I think it will crack a few smiles. To piggyback means not to ride a pig. It means to sit on somebody's back. You know, like when you were a kid, you would, jump on the back of your dad or your mom and they'd carry you. That's piggybacking on someone. So you could use the phrase to piggyback on what somebody said, meaning to build on what somebody said. But yeah, that's an informal way of expressing yourself. Now, if you want to, again, clarify something that you did not understand, you could say, I'm not sure I follow. Could you elaborate? Say that I'm explaining to you, the monthly budget and I'm using a lot of technical terms, or you just don't understand what it is that I'm saying. You could say, I'm not sure I follow. Could you please elaborate? And then I will explain it to you. And another phrase to show that you agree with someone is we're on the same page. It's not exclusive to the work environment, but it is very commonly used in the work environment. It means you agree, you're aligned, and you're synced. For example, okay, sounds good. I think we're on the same page about the deadline. And this one is 100% native English. And this phrase is so often used in my line of work in Web3, in consulting, in the tech space. And it's, let's keep it high level for now. And I do get it. It's a really good phrase to use. It's a way to stop someone from talking about a topic in tremendous detail when you don't have time, like during a meeting. So for example, let's say that you are talking to a financial planner and he shows you this huge spreadsheet and he's about to spend a lot of time talking about it. You could almost anticipate that, this meeting doesn't have to be so much detail. And you could say, let's keep this high level for now. We can dig into the details later. Or again, you could be the one presenting something at a meeting and just clarifying from the beginning, I'm going to keep this high level for now, meaning you're not going to go into a lot of detail about what you're going to present. And finally, the phrase, can we revisit this later? It's an excellent one to use when you're at the tail end of the meeting, you don't have the energy, and you're out of time. So for instance, you could say, good question. Can we revisit this on the next meeting? Or you could say, can we revisit this and take it offline? See what I did there? Used two phrases from the phrases that I taught you today. And that's it. Now you're completely ready to walk into any meeting like a CEO. Or at least someone who didn't just Google how to talk at a meeting. So let me know in the comments which of these phrases is your utmost favorite. And as usual, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe if you never want to miss another English lesson.